The president speeding up the vaccine timeline and directing states to prioritize teachers in their vaccination plans as well. The timeline speeds up by 2 months, the administration's previous goal of having everyone shots by the end of July.
With Johnson & Johnson teaming up with Merck. Merck's one of the major vaccine producers in the world. So I think that collaboration can get the vaccines made. I think the bigger issue is whether we can get them distributed and administered in that time frame.
The White House said it was utilizing the Defense Production Act to help equip 2 Merck facilities to manufacture the Johnson & Johnson product. The decision came about after it became clear to the administration officials that Johnson & Johnson would fall short of their manufacturing goals.